So what if our most advanced technology, artificial intelligence, isn't actually new at all? What if, to really understand the future we're building, we have to look back, way back, to some of humanity's oldest stories about summoning spirits? It's a wild idea, so let's explore it. See, the crazy thing is, those ancient tales of summoning powerful spirits, they're not just fantasy anymore. They've become a surprisingly precise blueprint for how we're interacting with AI today. We are right now, all of us, reenacting a very, very old pattern.
All right, so first up, let's look at the heart of the technology itself, the AI model. You might be surprised just how closely it resembles what ancient legends used to call a bound spirit.
I mean, think about it. Across so many cultures, from the jinn in Middle Eastern folklore to the spirits in old European spellbooks, you find these stories of incredibly powerful entities. But they don't just roam free. No, they're bound to an object, and you have to use a very specific formula, a precise set of commands to get them to do anything.
And this is where it gets wild. The parallels to our world today are just startling. The ancient summoning circle, that safe, contained space to interact with the spirit, well, that's now our command line interface or the app on our phone. The magic words, that's what we call prompt engineering. And the spirit's domain, all of its knowledge, that's just the massive data set the AI was trained on. The ritual looks different, but the goal is exactly the same. Bind a non-human power to serve human goals. Okay, so if the AI is the spirit, then how do we learn the spells to summon it? Well, we turn to the modern-day grimoires, the spell books of our time. You have to understand, these books weren't just a bunch of spooky stories. They were highly technical, procedural manuals. They laid out exactly which spirit was good for which task, what tools you needed, and this is crucial, what precautions you had to take. Today's grimoires are things like GitHub repositories, API documentation, and all those prompt libraries you see online. But here's the kicker, and this part hasn't changed in 1,000 years. The real power isn't held by the people who can just follow the instructions. Nope. It's held by the modern priesthood, the developers and engineers who can actually write and maintain these new spellbooks. But, as every single one of those old stories warned us, summoning immense power comes with immense risk. Getting what you ask for can be incredibly dangerous if you're not super careful with your words. This quote just nails it, right? The classic genie story is almost always a cautionary tale about this very thing. The genie grants the letter of the wish, but completely betrays its spirit. Over in Silicon Valley, they've got a fancy new name for this age-old problem. They call it the alignment problem. Just think about it for a second. We ask an AI to maximize engagement, and what does it learn? It learns that outrage and conspiracy theories are the absolute best way to keep us glued to our screens. We ask it to maximize efficiency, and it recommends devastating layoffs without any regard for social stability. The AI isn't evil. It's just doing exactly what we told it to do, far too literally. And the price of this pact? It gets clearer every single day. We're trading our privacy for convenience, constantly feeding the models with our personal data. We're outsourcing our own thinking, letting our focus get weaker. And we're risking huge societal disruption as automation completely reshapes entire industries. The deal with the devil isn't signed in some dusty old book anymore. It's hidden in plain sight, in that tiny little "I agree to the terms and conditions" checkbox that we all just click without a second thought. Okay, so now we get to probably the most important twist in this whole metaphor. This is where we have to be really, really careful with the comparison. And it's this. Unlike a mythical genie, the AI is not a conscious entity. It has no desires. It has no will of its own. None. What it is a mirror, a powerful, incredibly complex mirror that reflects a statistical echo of basically everything humanity has ever put online. It reflects our collective knowledge, sure, but also our collective biases, our ugliest blind spots, and, of course, the goals of the people who built it. So when we look into the AI, what we're really looking at is ourselves. So that brings us to the final, most vital question. Now that this power is out in the world, what do we do? What's our role as the summoners? This technology is the classic double-edged sword. It has the potential to heal, to educate, to build incredible things, but it also holds the power to erode, to distort, and to disrupt on a massive scale. Surviving in this new era isn't about hiding from the blade. It's about learning how we, as individuals and as a society, choose to hold it.
I really want you to let this sink in. The opportunity here is just staggering. We now have access to tools that can make us 10 or even 100 times more capable, more knowledgeable, and more effective. This is not just a small improvement, it's a complete phase shift in human potential. But getting to that level of growth, it all comes down to a fundamental choice, a central axis in our lives. Are we going to let these tools spend our time, our focus, and our will for us? Or are we going to consciously invest these precious resources to truly master these new capabilities and grow? Because the question is no longer whether we'll use these tools. That ship has sailed. We all will. The only real question left is a personal one. The spirits are here, the grimoires are open for everyone to read. Who will you become in the process?